bitcoinsoul.org, seoul.org. A Bitcoin, Ethereum, NEO, Chinese ICO, American SEC ICO regulatory changes, and Korean ICO regulatory changes update. Wow, talk about convergence, right? Everything's converging together. Okay, first of all, where's Bitcoin? Are we there yet? Is this the bottom? Technically, this would be the bottom because if you see behind me, I guess you can't see it. If you see behind me, there are more buy orders for Bitcoin right now than there are sell orders. But the reason why we might continue to still fall is because people are putting in options contracts that are being manipulated the other way. So if someone says, hey, we're at the bottom, we're going to go long, guess what? The whales that are manipulating the options contracts are pushing it down and going short. And so you end up wrecking these people who've got thousands of Bitcoin on the line. And so these thousands of Bitcoin just get liquidated. So you didn't think that 20, 50 million people all of a sudden simultaneously sold Bitcoin, did you? That's not what happens. It's just a handful of people, maybe a dozen people or a couple hundred people who control thousands of Bitcoin who decide to sell all at once. So, or who get forced to sell all at once is more accurate. So we could still see more of a bottom. I'm just going to say, please stop playing with options on Bitcoin, at least right now, because it's just... Anyway, if it's so obvious that Bitcoin's going to go up, guess what? There's somebody else that realizes that you think it's obvious that Bitcoin's going to go up, and they're going to fight you, and they're going to take your money. So that's options trading for you on Bitcoin. Number two, Ethereum. Whale Panda, who I respect very much, super intelligent for a cartoon character, I suppose, said that you can buy back your alts. Ethereum isn't really going to be affected that much. NEO is affected a lot. That's only true from one perspective. From the bigger perspective, that's totally wrong. So basically, it's just totally wrong. I'll tell you why. NEO and Fosun Group. You have to understand who Fosun Group is. They're tied in with Wu Jihan. They have the most amount of money in the world, literally in the world, and besides maybe some Middle Eastern sultans and the Rockefellers. And they're directly sanctioned by the Chinese government. They're literally directly pushed by the Chinese government to fight Ethereum. And so NEO, being backed by China's biggest, or one of China's biggest venture capital companies, isn't going to make a mistake dotting an I or crossing a T. They're just not going to do that. And so if anything, these regulations prevent smaller ICOs and smaller developers from competing with NEO. But what about Ethereum? Ethereum's not really all that big in China. So is Ethereum safe and Ethereum ICOs are fine? No, because you've got America, and worse yet, 60% of Ethereum and 60% of Ethereum ICOs are being launched in, oh cool, one of my orders went through, in Korea. Korea's 60% Ethereum. Korea's 60% BCC or BCH or whatever you want to call it nowadays. And Korea is following America and Chinese footsteps. So what you think is hurting NEO in China is actually helping NEO, and what you think is helping Ethereum in Korea is actually hurting Ethereum in Korea. So you've got the whole thing backwards. Okay, so we dealt with Korean regulations, NEO, Ethereum, American regulations, SEC. Did we cover all the bases? And are we there yet? It really depends. Are you guys going to stop playing with options? If you've got over 100 Bitcoin that